As the quiet hum of the ancient Chinese plains lingers in your mind, let us step softly into the life of a laborer in 221 BCE, where the rhythm of stone and sweat shapes every moment under the vast northern sky. Imagine yourself awakening in a makeshift camp near the rugged mountains of northern China. The air cool with the scent of dawn dew and the faint tang of earth, the sound of a distant rooster blending with the first calls of overseers. The landscape stretches before you, jagged peaks and endless plains, the horizon dotted with the skeletal outline of the Great Wall's beginnings, a relentless call to toil. Settle into the steady pace of this monumental effort, and let the quiet details guide your thoughts as we explore what it took to build this enduring marvel. Picture the camp, a cluster of rough tents woven from coarse hemp, their texture scratchy as you brush against them to rise. The ground beneath is hard-packed dirt, covered with a thin mat of straw, its prickly surface a constant companion as you adjust your sandals. The air grows warm with the scent of smoky porridge from a clay pot, the sound of a wooden spoon stirring a gentle rhythm, the constant struggle to fuel the day ahead. The laborer farmer named Zhang dons a tunic of faded linen, its fabric worn and dusty, the texture rough against his skin as he ties a belt, the air filled with the murmur of comrades preparing for the march. The day begins with the stone haul. Imagine walking the uneven path to the quarry, the air thick with the scent of dry earth and the faint tang of sweat, the sound of hobnailed boots striking the ground a steady beat. The constant struggle is to keep pace, his legs aching from yesterday's load, the texture of a stone slab cool and heavy in his hands as he grips it. The air carries the distant crack of a whip, the rhythm of the column a relentless pulse, the horizon shimmering with heat as he joins others in a line. The scent of crushed grass lingers underfoot, the ground rising steeply, the sound of stones clinking, a quiet accompaniment. Midday brings a brief respite. Picture halting on a rocky outcrop, the air warmed by the sun, the scent of wild thyme crushed underfoot, a subtle relief, the sound of water skins sloshing as they are passed around. His meal is simple steamed millet, its texture gritty but filling, and a sip of weak tea. The earthy taste a quiet solace, the clay cup warm against his lips. The constant struggle is to eat quickly, the air filled with the murmur of laborers sharing tales, the rhythm of their voices a gentle hum. The scent of leather repairs lingers as he mends a sandal strap, the texture of the thread rough under his fingers, the day's work looming once more. The afternoon demands wall construction. Imagine standing at the wall's base, the air heavy with the scent of freshly cut timber and the faint aroma of mortar, the sound of hammers tapping a steady cadence. The constant struggle is to fit stones, his hands blistered from the chisel, the earth cool and gritty as he shifts it beneath him. The air carries the distant clatter of a supply cart, the rhythm of their labor a continuous pulse, the texture of a completed section smooth as he pats it down. The scent of pine resin lingers, a quiet marker of their effort, the ground marked with the tracks of their toil. This task carries the shadow of hardship. The air grows cool as evening approaches, the scent of damp wool thick as he adjusts his cloak during a break. Lives sometimes lost to exhaustion or bandits, though we need not dwell on the details. The sound of a comrade's groan prompts a pause, the constant struggle to push forward, the air filled with the faint aroma of medicinal herbs from a healer's kit. His dreams are of his village, the texture of rice paddies, a distant memory, The rhythm of his labor, a test of endurance, as he leans on his tool, the ground hard beneath his feet. As night falls, the camp grows still, the air warm with the scent of embers from dying fires, the sound of snoring from nearby tents, a gentle lullaby. He returns to his mat, the texture of the straw rough against his weary body. The constant struggle to find rest overshadowed by the next day's march. The air carries the soft hum of the wind, the mountains beyond the camp settling into silence, broken only by the occasional crackle of flames. Imagine yourself there, the coolness of the earth easing your thoughts, the rhythm of this labor slowing your mind, guiding you toward rest as we prepare to leave this construction world behind. As the quiet rhythm of the laborer's toil fades into the stillness of the northern Chinese night, let us gently turn our thoughts to a figure of ambition and foresight, Qin Shi Huang, whose steady resolve shaped the early foundations of the Great Wall in 221 BCE. Imagine yourself standing in the grand hall of his palace in Shenyang, the air cool with the scent of sandalwood and the faint tints of ink from scrolls. The sound of a soft breeze rustling through open windows, blending with the distant hum of advisors. The rhythm of his imperial will guides us into this pivotal chapter, a pulse that shaped China's defense. Settle into the measured pace of his reign, and let the rhythm of his vision ease your mind as we explore this transformative era. Picture the hall, its walls adorned with lacquered panels depicting mythical dragons, the texture smooth yet cool to the touch, the air growing warm with the scent of burning incense and the subtle aroma of roasted chestnuts from a nearby brazier. Qin Shi Huang, a young emperor in his 30s, with a stern yet thoughtful expression, sits on a throne of polished ebony, his robe of embroidered silk rustling softly, the fabric heavy with gold thread against his skin. His face, framed by a short beard, carries the weight of unification, the constant struggle to consolidate power, his hands steady as he grips a jade seal, the cool surface smooth under his fingers. The sound of a scribe's brush on bamboo strips blends with the murmur of courtiers, the rhythm of his command, a quiet beat. The vision begins with unification. Imagine the moment of his triumph, the air cool with the scent of victory feasts and the faint tang of metal from captured weapons, the sound of a victory drum echoing through the palace. The constant struggle is to merge the warring states, his hands rough as he reviews maps, the texture of the parchment crisp under his touch. The air fills with the clatter of armor as soldiers are reassigned, the rhythm of their march a steady pulse, the scent of ink lingering as he drafts edicts. The ground trembles with the weight of his decisions, the texture of the marble floor cool as he paces, the sound of advisors debating a gentle hum. The wall's planning unfolds with strategic intent. Picture him standing on a balcony overlooking the northern plains, the air heavy with the scent of pine and the faint aroma of dust, the sound of a hawk's cry, a distant cadence. The constant struggle is to envision a barrier, his eyes fixed on the rugged horizon, the texture of a wooden model smooth in his hands as he adjusts its pieces. The air carries the murmur of engineers, the rhythm of their calculations, a measured beat, the scent of charcoal from a sketch growing stronger as he directs the design. The ground rises steeply, the texture of the earth shifting as he imagines the wall's path, the air filled with the soft rustle of banners. Construction oversight marks his authority. Imagine visiting a construction site, the air warm with the scent of quarried stone and the faint tang of sweat, the sound of hammers tapping a steady rhythm. The constant struggle is to enforce progress, his hands steady as he inspects a section. The texture of the wall rough under his fingers. The air carries the distant crack of a whip. The rhythm of labor, a continuous pulse. The scent of pine resin lingering as workers seal joints. The ground is uneven with debris, the texture of a fallen tool, cool as he steps over it. The air stilling with the weight of his presence. As night falls, the palace grows still, the air warm with the scent of embers from a brazier. The sound of snoring from nearby chambers, a gentle lullaby. He retires to a cushioned divan, the texture of the silk smooth against his weary body. The constant struggle to dream of a united China overshadowing his rest. The air carries the soft hum of the wind, the plains beyond settling into silence, broken only by the occasional creak of the palace beams. Imagine yourself there, the coolness of the marble easing your thoughts, the rhythm of this vision slowing your mind, guiding you toward rest as we prepare to explore the next chapter of this story. As the quiet rhythm of Qin Shi Huang's strategic vision fades into the stillness of the Xianyang night, let us gently turn our thoughts to the silent mysteries beneath the earth, where the great wall's hidden sections lie preserved from centuries past. Imagine yourself standing amid the rugged terrain of northern China, the year blending into the present as archaeologists uncover forgotten stretches, the air cool with the scent of ancient earth and the faint temps of moss-covered stone. The sound of a soft wind rustling through the grasslands blends with the distant hum of excavation tools, a rhythm that guides us into the secrets of these buried walls. Settle into the measured pace of this discovery, and let the rhythm of their unearthed history ease your mind as we explore this enduring legacy. Picture the dig site near the Gobi Desert, its landscape dotted with crumbling ramparts and scattered bricks. The texture rough under your hand as you trace a weathered section. The air grows warm with the scent of dry soil turned by shovels. The sound of a trowel scraping gently, a quiet cadence, a call to uncover the past. Archaeologists, their voices low and measured, reveal a buried watchtower, the constant struggle to piece together its purpose, the rhythm of their work, a steady pulse. The air carries the faint aroma of sagebrush from the windswept plains, the ground marked with the imprints of long-gone footsteps, the texture of a broken tile smooth in your fingers. The wall's hidden day begins to emerge. Imagine standing in a reconstructed trench, the air cool with the scent of compacted earth and the faint tints of lime mortar, the sound of a recreated wind chime, a soft tinkle. The constant struggle is to imagine the labor, hands rough as they adjust a replica tunic, the texture of the fabric coarse against the skin. The air fills with the murmur of imagined voices, the rhythm of their routine, a gentle hum, the scent of dried grass from a preserved thatch, lingering as archaeologists uncover a shelter. The ground is hard with ancient rubble, the texture of a stone fragment, cool as you step over it, the air stilling with the weight of preserved silence. Midday reveals the watchtowers. Picture walking along a partially excavated section, the air heavy with the scent of sun-baked clay and the faint aroma of charcoal, the sound of a distant pickaxe tapping a steady beat. The constant struggle is to catalog the structures. Hands blistered from lifting debris, the texture of a brick smooth under scrutiny. The air carries the faint clatter of a signal fire's remnants, the rhythm of their vigilance, a continuous pulse, the scent of burnt wood from a long-extinguished beacon, a quiet clue. The ground rises unevenly, the texture of the rampart, worn by time. The air filled with the murmur of scholars noting inscriptions. The afternoon uncovers defensive life. Imagine entering a reconstructed beacon site. The air warm with the scent of faded wood and the faint Thames of preserved ash. The sound of a recreated drum, a gentle hum. The constant struggle is to restore the scene, hands steady as they adjust a replica shield. The texture of the leather soft yet brittle. The air carries the distant rustle of grass. The rhythm of their watch, a meditative beat. The scent of smoked meat from a shattered storage jar, lingering. The ground is cool with packed earth, the texture of a signal stone smooth underfoot. The air stilling with the weight of a frozen duty. Evening brings the cultural relics. Picture standing at a buried outpost, the air cool with the scent of incense residue and the faint aroma of stone. The sound of a soft chant echoing faintly. The constant struggle is to interpret the rituals, hands rough from brushing dust. The texture of a ceramic shard, cool to the touch. The air carries the distant hum of a caravan. The rhythm of their prayers, a steady pulse. The scent of burnt offerings, a quiet marker. The ground is uneven with fallen bricks. The texture of a broken statue, smooth as you trace its edge. The air filled with the murmur of archaeologists debating its origin. This preservation carries the shadow of hardship. The air grows heavy with the scent of weathered bones as artifacts are revealed. Lives sometimes lost to the elements, though we need not dwell on the details. The sound of a shovel striking a relic prompts a pause. The constant struggle to document respectfully. The air filled with the faint aroma of preservative chemicals. The rhythm of their resilience persists. The texture of a sandy path, slippery as they press on, the ground softening with each layer uncovered. Cultural artifacts enrich this tale. Imagine a dig site near the Yellow River, the air cool as tents flap softly in the breeze. The ground marked with strings to guide excavation. The sound of brushes sweeping dust blends with the murmur of scholars, their voices low as they uncover a bronze bell. The texture resonant and aged. The constant struggle for historians is to decipher these finds. The rhythm of their analysis, a steady process of dating and cataloging. The air in the tent, thick with the aroma of old leather from excavated satchels. Recent ex-posts from August 2025 highlight a clay seal, its imprint vivid, revealing a garrison's mark. As night falls, the site grows still. The air warm with the scent of embers from a researcher's fire. The sound of crickets, a gentle lullaby. The archaeologist rests on a camp chair. The texture of the canvas rough against their weary body. The constant struggle to preserve overshadowed by the next day's dig. The air carries the soft hum of the wind. The plains beyond settling into silence, broken only by the occasional rustle of grass. Imagine yourself there, the coolness of the earth easing your thoughts, the rhythm of this discovery slowing your mind, guiding you toward rest as we prepare to explore the next chapter of this story. As the quiet rhythm of the hidden section's secrets fades into the stillness of the northern Chinese plains, let us gently turn our thoughts to a world of authority and oversight, carried by the soft creak of a watchtower ladder. Imagine yourself standing at the summit of a Ming dynasty watchtower, overlooking the Great Wall, the year settling into the mid-15th century. The air cool with the scent of incense and the faint hum of soldiers moving below. This is the life of a Ming overseer, perhaps, a seasoned commander named leadering the walls, reinforcement, a stark contrast to the laborer's toil, where the rhythm of command meets the sweep of the frontier. Settle into the measured pace of this vantage point, and let the rhythm of his leadership guide your mind as we explore this contrasting existence. Picture the watchtower, a sturdy structure of gray brick and timber, its walls weathered yet solid, the texture rough under your hand as you lean against it. The air inside is warm with the scent of burning sandalwood and the subtle Thames of polished steel from his armor stand, and a small table holds a map unfurled, its surface creased by time, the sound of a quill scratching a gentle cadence. This is the domain of Li, his face lined with experience, his robe of deep blue silk adorned with a dragon emblem, the fabric cool against his skin as he adjusts his hat. The constant struggle is to maintain this authority, a quiet undercurrent beneath the frontier's vastness. The day begins with a ritual inspection. Imagine him awakening on a cushioned mat, its frame of carved wood draped with cotton, the softness a stark contrast to the laborer's straw bed, the texture smooth against his body. His chamber is warmed by a brazier, the air thick with the scent of cedar and the faint aroma of tea from a porcelain cup. The sound of a morning bell, a gentle call. He dresses in a layered robe, its hem heavy with silver thread, the weight a symbol of rank, the air filled with the rustle of fabric as an aide assists. His breakfast is hearty steamed buns filled with pork, their savory aroma filling the air as he eats slowly. The rhythm of his meal, a deliberate pause to plan the day. His routine is one of strategic oversight. Picture him climbing the tower's ladder, the air cool with the scent of dry grass and the faint tang of brick dust, his boots clicking softly on the wooden rungs. The sound of a sentry's report blends with the murmur of the garrison. The texture of a velvet cushion soft beneath him as he sits to review dispatches, the constant struggle to coordinate defenses. The air carries the faint aroma of beeswax from lanterns, and he traces the map with a quill, the parchment crinkling softly, the rhythm of his decisions, a steady pulse. The tower shields him from the wind, the air purified with burning juniper, a privilege denied to the workers below. The court serves as a command hub, a place where the elite reinforce their role. Imagine an afternoon council in the tower's upper chamber. The air thick with the aroma of roasted mutton and the soft clink of ceramic bowls as officers and aides confer. The table is laden with platters of dried apricots and rice cakes, the texture of the fruit chewy in their hands, and the conversation flows in a gentle hum, punctuated by the occasional nod. A drummer plays a soft beat, its notes humming a slow tune, the sound blending with the crackle of the brazier. Soldiers move silently, their footsteps muffled on the mats, the air filled with the scent of barley wine from the kitchens. The constant struggle to sustain this order, a quiet effort beneath the surface. Yet, this elite existence carries its own burdens. Li must maintain vigilance, his days filled with the constant struggle to repel Mongol raids. The air sometimes tense with the weight of responsibility. The scent of a scout's horse lingers as reports arrive. Lives sometimes lost in skirmishes, though we need not dwell on the details. The rhythm of his life, overseeing patrols, receiving updates, resting in a cushioned chairs, tempered by the need to inspire loyalty. The air filled with the scent of incense to ward off unease. The constant struggle is to project strength. His aides gathered around the map table, their voices a soft murmur as they discuss strategy outside the tower. The laborer's world continues in contrast. Picture the wall where they toil, the dust clinging to their sandals, the air heavy with the scent of sweat and stone, their stomachs growling from meager rations. Their nights are spent in drafty tents, the sound of the wind a constant hum, while Li retires to a warm chamber, the scent of tea lingering. The laborer's hands are rough from the chisel, their days a relentless cycle of construction, while his are softened by the quill and the rains. His life a steady flow of privilege. This divide, shaped by the Ming dynasty's hierarchy, defines the rhythm of the frontier, a quiet interplay of endurance and ease. The afternoon brings a pause, the rhythm of the tower slowing. Imagine Li sitting at a desk, the air warm with the scent of beeswax candles, the texture of a velvet cushion soft beneath him as he reads from a scroll of Confucian wisdom, the parchment crackling softly. The sound of a flute drifts from the courtyard, the air filled with the gentle melody. The constant struggle to maintain culture amid military tensions, a quiet ambition. The soldiers move silently, their footsteps muffled on the mats, the air carrying the faint aroma of roasted chestnuts from the kitchens, the rhythm of their labor a steady pulse. The evening deepens with a final patrol review, the air still with the scent of cedar and the faint hum of the wind outside. He stands at the tower's edge, the texture of the brick hard yet weathered, tracing the wall's path with his gaze, the air filled with the murmur of centuries. The constant struggle is to ensure readiness, the rhythm of his leadership a testament to foresight, the air heavy with the promise of rest. The tower grows quiet, the soldiers retiring, the contrast between his world and the laborer's toil lingering in the stillness. Imagine yourself there, the warmth of the tower easing your thoughts, the rhythm of this authority slowing your mind, guiding you toward rest as we prepare to draw our journey to a close. As the quiet rhythm of the Ming overseer's watchtower fades into the stillness of the northern Chinese night, let the steady pulse of the Great Wall's construction gently slip away, carried by the soft sigh of the wind through the grasslands. Imagine yourself stepping back from the rugged mountains and privileged towers, the scent of sandalwood and dusty stone lingering faintly in the air, the sound of hammers and quills growing distant. This journey through what it took to build the Great Wall, the strategic vision of Qin Shi Huang, the mystery of its hidden sections, and the contrasting life of a Ming dynasty overseer has woven a tapestry of endurance and ingenuity, a steady thread in the fabric of history. The China of their time was a world of relentless labor and stark divides, their days filled with the scent of quarried stone, the murmur of construction camps, the smoky air of watchfires, their hands rough from the chisel or softened by command, raised an empire's shield, while the overseer's life balanced authority with duty. The shadow of hardship and sacrifice touched their world, lives sometimes lost to the frontier. But these moments were softened by the passage of time, woven into the broader rhythm of China's legacy. Now, as the night deepens around you, let that distant world fade into the warmth of the present. The chill of their plains is replaced by the gentle comfort of your surroundings, the sound of their toil by the quiet of your space. The stone walls give way to the peace of your own room, where the air carries no tension, and the rhythm of their lives blends into a lullaby for your thoughts. Picture the brazier's glow dimming, the the wind outside a mere whisper, and allow your mind to drift, carried by the steady flow of history into the peace of sleep. As this journey ends, let the echoes of their world linger only as a gentle memory, a contrast to the ease you now feel. The rhythm of their labor, the warmth of the overseer's tower, the weight of their visional settle into silence, guiding you toward rest. Sleep now, and let the past fade into the quiet night.